Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Lori Brumfield and I make videos to encourage you to be who you are called to be. And today I was taking a look at the trending topics on Twitter, which I never do. And so I must be living under a cave because I had no idea that Vampire Diaries. Vampire facials is a thing. Have you guys heard of this? Vampire facials. Yes, it is a real thing. If you've heard of this, comment down in the comment section and let me know if you have any details on this because I really don't know much about it. But what I've heard so far, what I can gather, is that they take plasma out of you and I guess re-inject it back into your face, which sounds repulsive. But Kim Kardashian posted a picture of her with blood all over her face. And I guess she had just gotten it done. But some people went recently to this spa in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and they had this done. And now they're being encouraged to go and get tested for like HIV and hepatitis B and hepatitis C and I guess a bunch of other things. And it just reminded me that we can, and this is all of us can be guilty of this, okay? Like even Christ followers, right? We can all be guilty of focusing too much on outward appearances. And even if you're not going and getting vampire facials, which, oh my goodness, I hope you're not, because that just sounds so nasty, you guys. But even if you're not getting vampire facials, you may be focusing on, maybe you're obsessed with buying clothes, or maybe you're obsessed with buying makeup. You just can't get enough makeup. Or maybe your phone works just fine, but you just have to have the new Apple iPhone, right? Like, because it's the next greatest thing, Maybe you have an unhealthy attachment to going to the gym, right? That is clearly not my problem. I would say for me, some of the things that I focus on that I need to focus on less is, and of course, as a woman, I just do this, I'll look at myself in the mirror and be like, oh my gosh, I wish my arms were more toned, or I see another blemish or whatever, I do things like that, I look at myself and I shouldn't be so hard on myself about that. But then there are other things that I do, like comparing myself to other YouTubers. And I know as YouTubers, we talk about this a lot, about how we really have to work on not comparing ourselves to one another. But there are people who they just got crazy views and crazy subscribers and they've grown so much. And I have to really focus on not comparing myself to them. And that's looking at an outward thing that I just shouldn't be focused on. And it had me thinking about the verse from 1 Samuel, from it's chapter 16, verse 7. And it says this: the Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. So I just want to encourage you, if you are a believer, a Christ follower, I want to remind you that your purpose and your personal fulfillment, and look, I got to remind myself of this too, our purpose and personal fulfillment does not come from outward things. And I know it can be so easy to focus on those things, but that's just not where we're going to find it. Because look, some of the most miserable people in the world are the prettiest, and they're the most successful, and they're the wealthiest, and maybe they're the most, buff or whatever in shape people, but they may be completely miserable because, again, purpose doesn't come from outward appearances. Purpose comes from the Lord. He has given you talents and gifts and passions. And I say this all the time, talents and gifts and passions for a reason. He wants you to use those things to glorify Him. And that is where you're going to find your purpose. So listen, I'd love to hear from you on this. What's something that maybe you struggle with? Maybe you focus a little bit too much on outward appearances. What's your thing that you've been focusing on that maybe you need to kind of bring it back into focus and fix your eyes on Jesus? I'd love to hear from you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. And hey, listen, I haven't said this in a while, but I'm going to say it. Go be who you're called to be and do what you're called to do. See you again. Bye.